That beautiful plant by your front door, it might be the reason you're losing sleep, fighting more often, and watching money slip through your hands. Not because it's dying, but because it's draining you. Most people think houseplants are harmless, even healing. But in Feng Shui, the wrong plant in the wrong place does more than clash with your decor. It can trap energy, invite low vibrations, and silently sabotage your fortune. That trendy bonsai by your window, the cactus by your desk, the soft-leaved tree outside your porch, they might be quietly killing your luck. You don't need to believe in magic to feel when something's off. The tension in your home, the unexplained fatigue, the deals that keep falling through. What if it's not random? What if it's the energy? And what if it's coming from the very thing you thought was protecting you? In this video, I'm not just giving you a list of lucky plants. I'm revealing 7 powerful Feng Shui guardians, plants that defend your space, burn off negative charge, and open channels for wealth, healing, and clarity. These aren't the ones trending on TikTok. These are the ones ancient masters placed by entrances, altars, and windows for a reason. And if your home has been feeling heavy, dull, or unlucky, this might be why. Before you bring in another plant, or blame your mood on Mercury retrograde, watch this. You might discover that your fortune doesn't need manifesting, it needs protecting. And the plant guarding your front door, it might be your first line of defense, or your biggest energetic leak. Tree No One, chili plant, the fire guardian. You might walk past it at the farmer's market or ignore it at the garden center. Just another tiny plant with bright red peppers. But in Feng Shui, the chili plant is a weapon. Not metaphorically, literally. It is fire in plant form, used for centuries, not for flavor, but for protection. And if you're someone who constantly feels drained, overwhelmed, or just inexplicably off at home, this could be your first line of defense. The chili plant isn't ornamental fluff. It's an energy barrier. A natural repellent to spiritual clutter, lingering tension, and subtle forms of misfortune that don't show up in your inbox but hit your health, your finances, and your peace of mind. Let's get clear, energy stagnation is real. You know the feeling, corners of the house that feel heavier, rooms that get cold no matter the season, areas where people argue more or sleep worse. These are energy traps. In Feng Shui, they're often found near back doors, neglected entryways, or damp spaces where movement has stopped, physically and spiritually. The chili plant, with its sharp scent, pointed fruit, and fiery presence, is one of the few living things that actively burns through that stagnation. It belongs to the fire element, which means it doesn't just sit and absorb. It transforms, it activates, it pushes back. When placed in the right spot, the chili plant does what sage smoke or incense might do for a moment, but continuously, silently, and powerfully. It heats up cold corners. It energizes stuck air. It keeps the flow alive. And if you've ever had a streak of strange luck, electronics breaking, conversations turning sour, good moods suddenly vanishing, this is the kind of subtle energy shift the chili plant is designed to fight. Here, that's why it works. In energy terms, fire transforms. It burns off decay, dissolves emotional residue, and creates room for new, clear energy to move in. The chili's vibrant red and orange fruits act like mini torches, signaling vitality and circulation wherever they grow. Even if you're skeptical, watch what happens after placing a chili plant near a stagnant area. You may find the air feels lighter, people sleep better, conversations soften. The room starts breathing again, and it's not just about vibes. The chili plant has a psychological effect too. Red triggers alertness, warmth, and decision-making. It's not a passive color, and this isn't a passive plant. People often feel more focused and emotionally awake when they spend time in a room energized by fire elements. That's not coincidence. That's your nervous system responding to energetic clarity. But here's the key: placement. If you stick a chilly plant in the middle of your bright, active kitchen, you'll amplify chaos. Too much fire in the wrong place creates restlessness. You don't want more heat where heat is already intense. Instead, focus on dark corners, shadowy entryways, bathrooms that face the front door, or forgotten patio spaces, anywhere energy feels like it's stopped flowing. That's where the chili's power shines. Think of it like placing a lighthouse where fog always gathers. Want to supercharge its effect? Add intention. Surround the pot with a 5-color charm string representing the 5 elements: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. This aligns your chili plant with a complete energy cycle, turning it from a standalone fire guard into a full-spectrum energetic stabilizer. Or simply whisper a short phrase when you water it: burn away what doesn't serve. These subtle acts matter. Energy responds to consciousness. And if you've never had a green thumb, here's the good news: chili plants are resilient. They don't need pampering, just sunlight, a bit of water, and a space with purpose. The more fruit they bear, the stronger their energy field. In fact, many Feng Shui practitioners say the number of chilies that appear is a mirror of how much stagnant energy has been cleared. Fewer chilies, you've got more to burn off. More chilies, your energy's moving right. So here's the truth most people miss. Your home doesn't just need pretty plants. It needs guardians, protectors, activators. And the chili plant is exactly that. Small, sharp, and utterly underestimated. But once planted with intention, it becomes your home's energetic firewall, burning through blockages, shielding your space, and making room for something better to grow. Not someday. Now. You'll know it's working when the silence shifts, the light feels warmer, and you finally breathe easier. Tree No. 2. Snake plant, the silent defender. You've seen it before. Tall, upright, sword-like leaves with dark green stripes and yellow edges. The snake plant sits quietly in offices, bedrooms, lobbies, often ignored, often misunderstood. But what if I told you it's one of the strongest energy protectors in Feng Shui? Not flashy, not fragrant, just powerful in silence. The snake plant is like a security system that never sleeps. And if your space feels mentally foggy, emotionally tense, or physically draining, this plant could be the energetic shield you didn't know you needed. In Feng Shui, shape matters. The snake plant's sharp, vertical lines emit strong yang energy, active, assertive cutting. This isn't the gentle, let's calm things down type of plant. It's the let's clear this out kind. It slices through heavy, stagnant energy and brings movement to places where things feel stuck. That's why it's perfect for entryways, corners that collect clutter, or rooms where technology overloads your nervous system. If your front door opens to a busy street, a hospital, or even chaotic neighbors, placing a snake plant nearby is like posting an invisible guard at your threshold. But its power doesn't stop at energy. Scientifically, the snake plant is one of the best natural air purifiers. It absorbs toxins like formaldehyde, benzene, and nitrogen oxide, common in cleaning supplies, paint, and synthetic furniture. That means it's not just clearing spiritual junk. It's literally cleaning your air. This dual action, physical detox and energetic protection, makes the snake plant invaluable for anyone living in a city, working from home, or simply dealing with daily overwhelm. Here's what most people get wrong. They treat the snake plant like decor, a filler, a background prop. But when used intentionally, this plant transforms the atmosphere. Placed at entrances, it guards your flow. In workspaces, it sharpens focus. In bedrooms, it strengthens mental boundaries, essential if you tend to overthink or absorb the stress of others. Sensitive people especially notice the difference. They describe the space as lighter, cleaner, or less busy in the head. That's not placebo, that's energy alignment. And unlike delicate plants that need coddling, the snake plant thrives on neglect. It doesn't ask for much, just indirect sunlight and a drink when the soil's dry. In return, it offers stability, quiet strength, and a kind of anchored calm that's hard to describe but easy to feel. Its toughness mirrors the energy it provides. Resilient, clear-cut, dependable. Still, this plant isn't for every corner. Because of its sharp nature, avoid placing it in areas where you want softness, like right next to your bed or meditation cushion. You don't need defense there. You need receptivity. Think of the snake plant as a bouncer at the door, not a therapist in your sanctuary. Its energy is directional, strategic. Place it where defense is needed. Front doors, stair landings, high-traffic corridors. And if your home often feels exposed, emotionally or energetically, double up. Two snake plants flanking a doorway create a subtle gatekeeper effect. One on either side sets a boundary. It tells the world, this space is guarded. This home has energetic sovereignty. No chaos allowed in. So if you've been feeling overwhelmed by noise, traffic, electronics, or just the world in general, this plant isn't optional, it's essential. The snake plant doesn't bloom, doesn't perfume the air, doesn't beg for attention. It stands, it guards, it clears. In a world full of distractions, that kind of steady presence is rare, and sometimes exactly what your energy needs. Tree No. 3, Buddhist Pine, the Stoic Shield. It doesn't bloom in bursts of color. It doesn't trail from hanging pots. It doesn't catch your eye the way tropical plants do. But the Buddhist pine is a giant in the world of Feng Shui, and not for how it looks, for how it holds. This tree is stoic, grounded, unshakable. And in a world that pulls you in 100 directions, that kind of energy isn't just comforting, it's critical. If your life feels unstable, your home chaotic, or your emotions constantly on edge, the Buddhist pine is more than a plant. It's a shield. Known for its long life and upright form, the Buddhist pine emits strong yang energy, clear, focused, and anchoring. It doesn't soothe, it strengthens. Its tall, narrow shape draws energy upward, encouraging structure, self-discipline, and protection from emotional turbulence. Unlike softer plants that calm or cleanse, this one fortifies. Think of it as the energetic equivalent of a spine. It keeps your space standing tall, even when life tries to knock it down. The Buddhist pine is especially powerful in homes where there's conflict, frequent arguments, miscommunication, or emotional coldness. Its energy doesn't just mask tension, it redirects it. Families who place this tree near bedrooms, backyards, or household boundaries often report a subtle but steady shift. Fewer misunderstandings, fewer flare-ups, and a growing sense of calm authority in the air. It's like having a silent elder in the room, never intervening, but always keeping the energy in check. Placement matters. The most potent spot for this tree is in the northwest corner of your yard or home. In Feng Shui, this area represents the patriarch, the source of direction, guidance, and protection. If the masculine energy in your household feels weak, absent, or chaotic, planting a Buddhist pine here helps restore that archetype, not through force, but through energetic presence. And it's not just symbolic. The upright nature of the tree encourages upward thinking, long-term planning, and emotional consistency, qualities essential in uncertain times. Here's something people often miss. The Buddhist pine should be allowed to grow naturally. Don't trim it into decorative shapes or tame its wildness. Its raw form is part of its power. It teaches you how to let go of control while still standing firm. In fact, over-trimming can weaken its energetic impact, just as over-controlling life often disconnects you from its flow. This plant is especially resonant for people in leadership roles, high-stress professions, or transitional phases, starting over, changing careers, healing from betrayal, or stepping into responsibility. If you feel like you're being asked to hold more than you're used to, this tree mirrors the kind of quiet strength you need to embody. It's also a great match for homes that need emotional insulation. If you live in a duplex, a crowded city block, or near unpredictable neighbors, the Buddhist pine acts like a buffer. It won't make things disappear, but it keeps other people's chaos from leaking into your peace. That subtle difference. It can save your sleep, your focus, your patience. In appearance, the Buddhist pine won't turn heads, but over time, you'll start to feel its presence. The way the air settles when you walk past it, the way your thoughts gather instead of scatter, the way your home starts to feel. Safe, it doesn't shout, it doesn't bloom, it doesn't demand. It simply stands, tall, watchful, and unwavering. And in a world that feels like it's spinning faster every day, maybe that's the kind of strength you need right now. Not loud. Just loyal, not decorative, just true. That's the Buddhist pine, your stoic shield. Tree number 4, Pagoda Tree, the wealth whisperer. It doesn't flash its fortune. It doesn't scream money plant. The Pagoda Tree is subtle, quiet, and deeply powerful. The kind of wealth energy that doesn't just come and go, but stays, grows, and evolves with you. If you're looking for instant wins or lottery vibes, this isn't your plant. But if you're ready to build a life that attracts abundance with grace, stability, and longevity, the Pagoda Tree is your silent partner. In Feng Shui, wealth isn't just about cash. It's about flow, clarity, and your capacity to hold and grow what you receive. The Pagoda Tree speaks to that deeper level. It represents refined prosperity, generational abundance, wise financial choices, and calm decision-making under pressure. The energy it carries isn't flashy, it's noble. Think of it as the energy of an old money estate, not a casino win. It's not lucky, it's stable. What makes this tree so unique is its rhythm. It doesn't bloom constantly. But when it does, usually once or twice a year, the timing often aligns with major energetic shifts in the home. Breakthroughs at work, sudden resolutions to long-standing issues, emotional clarity that leads to new opportunities. It's as if the tree senses when your energetic soil is ready and responds in kind. People often report feeling lighter, more optimistic, or simply more in flow when their pagoda tree starts to flower. The best placement, somewhere where it can breathe, like along a fence line in a wide front yard or at the edge of a spacious porch. This tree needs sunlight, openness, and time. Don't trap it in a corner or wedge it between dense structures. Let it stretch. Let it whisper. Its beauty is in how naturally it holds space. And unlike other plants that are reactive, the pagoda tree is reflective. It doesn't just respond to your energy, it mirrors it back with quiet wisdom. And here's where it gets fascinating. The scent of its blossoms, faint and sweet, has been said to trigger a mental clearing effect. Early mornings spent near this tree often bring unexpected clarity, solutions to problems, a shift in mood, a reset in emotional balance. That's not coincidence. That's energetic alignment. In Feng Shui terms, the pagoda tree balances both wood and earth energy, growth with grounding, ambition with patience. Want to connect deeper with its energy? Collect a few seeds when they drop. People often keep them on their desks, near financial documents, or even in their wallets, not as superstition, but as a physical reminder of long-term goals. The seed becomes an anchor for intention, not to chase wealth, but to invite it in and be ready to hold it when it comes. The pagoda tree is also ideal for families, especially those building something over time. A business, a legacy, a stable home. It reinforces the kind of energy where kids focus better, adults sleep more soundly, and daily life feels less frantic. It's not a miracle cure, it's a shift, a grounding, a container for abundance that doesn't slip through your fingers. If your financial life feels unstable, reactive, or chaotic, this tree won't fix that overnight, but it will start to hold space for a different pattern. One that doesn't rise and crash. One that builds, deepens, and sustains. Because true wealth, real energetic prosperity isn't loud. It's quiet, consistent, and deeply rooted. Just like the pagoda tree. Let it grow and it will grow you. Let it bloom and it will bloom something inside you too. Tree number 5, Buddha belly bamboo, the rebuilder. You don't plant Buddha belly bamboo for drama. You plant it when you're ready to rebuild, slowly, steadily, from the inside out. This isn't a plant for show. It's for people who have been through something, a breakup, a job loss, a move that left them unanchored, an illness that shook their core. This bamboo doesn't just grow, it restores. If your life feels like a pile of quiet pieces right now, this is the plant that helps you gather them gently. With its soft, round joints and upright stalks, Buddha belly bamboo emits a unique energetic signature in Feng Shui. It belongs to the wood element, growth, recovery, learning. But unlike fast-growing, erratic vines, this bamboo holds its shape. It grows evenly with rhythm and grace. That's exactly the energy it brings to your home. Slow structure, soft order, a sense of emotional safety while you navigate transition. It doesn't force change, it supports it. One of its most remarkable traits is how it interacts with air and light. When placed in a breezy, sunlit spot, like a balcony, porch, or corner hallway, it acts like a filter for both the environment and your nervous system. People often describe a room with Buddha belly bamboo as easier to breathe in. Not just literally, energetically. The tension fades, the mind quiets, the body relaxes into a softer posture. This is a plant that calms you without numbing you. If you work long hours on screens, deal with mental overload, or tend to carry emotional residue from other people, this bamboo is a powerful ally. Its energy helps clear mental fog, reset emotional overdrive, and remind you that rest isn't laziness, it's recovery. This is especially important in spaces like home offices, bedrooms, and reading corners, where overstimulation builds silently. The bamboo's quiet presence invites you to slow down, center yourself, and remember what actually matters. And yes, this plant can absolutely support your ambitions, but it does it differently. Not by pushing you harder, but by strengthening your foundation. Its vertical growth pattern reinforces stability. Its hollow stalks allow energy to circulate without blockage. It's the ultimate metaphor. When you leave space within, life has room to flow through you. If your life has been cluttered, physically or emotionally, this bamboo teaches you how to grow again with lightness. A few placement notes. Avoid bathrooms, kitchens, or heavy appliance zones. These areas tend to carry chaotic or damp energy, which can overwhelm the bamboo's subtle field. Instead, choose locations with fresh air, moderate light, and visibility, spaces where people pass often but don't linger in chaos. A hallway with natural light, a workspace by a window, a morning coffee corner. Let the bamboo anchor the energy in places that feel transitional. Over time, you'll notice something unexpected. Your daily rhythm begins to match the plant's quiet consistency. Mornings feel less rushed. Thoughts feel less scrambled. Even challenges begin to feel softer. That's the energy of quiet resilience. It doesn't fix everything. It reminds you that you don't have to collapse to begin again. You can bend, adjust, and rise with grace. For those healing, grieving, or rebuilding, Buddha Belly Bamboo doesn't offer noise, attention, or bold declarations. It offers rhythm. Rooting, the kind of emotional architecture you need when everything else has felt like shifting sand. Plant it not to impress, but to heal. Water it not with routine, but with presence. And one morning without fanfare, you'll notice. You're standing straighter, thinking clearer, feeling lighter, not because something flashy changed, but because something essential finally took root. Tree number 6, sage, the energy cleaner. It's not just for smudging. It's not just for ceremonies. Sage, especially when grown as a living plant, is one of the most underestimated tools for real, tangible energy clearing in your home. You've probably seen dried sage bundles burned in rituals, filling rooms with smoke meant to purify. But the true magic of sage begins long before you light a match. When this plant is alive, rooted, and breathing in your space, it becomes a constant source of subtle cleansing, clearing more than air, clearing what weighs down your spirit. Sage belongs to both the wood and fire elements in Feng Shui. That means it doesn't just absorb or deflect, it transforms. It takes heavy, stagnant energy and breaks it down. It turns invisible tension into something breathable. Its leaves are soft and silvery green, but don't let that fool you. This plant holds intensity. There's heat beneath the calm. Even its scent, sharp, earthy, almost electric, tells your senses that something is shifting. If you've ever walked into your own home and felt off, you can't explain why, but the air feels heavy, your thoughts tighten, sleep doesn't come easily. Sage is the reset button you've been missing. Not a one-time fix. A continuous quiet presence, a background purifier. Just one pot near a window, a door, or a breezy passageway can start shifting the entire tone of your home. Slowly, gently, powerfully. And unlike incense or sprays that fade after a few minutes, a living sage plant works all day. It catches the tension people bring in. It filters the unease that lingers after a difficult conversation. It softens the imprint of emotional residue left behind by guests, arguments, or even your own anxious thoughts. This plant doesn't just make your space smell good, it makes your space feel safe again. Sage is especially important for bedrooms and sleeping areas. If you, or your children, struggle with nightmares, restless sleep, or waking up tired despite a full night's rest, try this. Place a pot of sage near the bed or in a window that gets soft morning light. Many people report deeper, dream-free rest within days. Why? Because sage doesn't just clear the room, it clears the field. In energy terms, it cuts cords, those invisible attachments we unknowingly collect throughout the day. The worry you picked up from a coworker, the tension absorbed from a news headline, the lingering energy from yesterday's grief. Sage helps release it before it becomes weight. And here's where it gets beautifully simple. Sage is ridiculously easy to grow. It thrives in sunlight, prefers dry soil, and barely needs attention. It grows best when left alone, which is a poetic reflection of what it offers you, clarity through simplicity. A pot of sage on a windowsill, a back porch, or even near your home office can act as an invisible energy scrubber. And when you want to amplify its power, add a piece of clear quartz or amethyst near its base. Let the crystals resonate with the plant's natural frequency and raise the vibration of the whole area. This isn't woo. This is rhythm. This is alignment, the kind you feel when you exhale in a space and realize, for the first time in days, that your shoulders have dropped. Your breath has deepened. and your thoughts are no longer circling. That's sage doing its job, not loudly, not dramatically, but faithfully. So if your home holds tension, your sleep feels broken, or your energy doesn't seem to bounce back the way it used to, don't rush to a solution that overwhelms you. Start with sage, let it root, let it clear. Let it remind you that peace is not a luxury, it's a frequency, and it's always available right there in the leaves. Tree number 7, Freshwater Mangrove, the Destiny Recharger. You probably wouldn't notice it at first glance. The freshwater mangrove doesn't shout for attention. It doesn't produce flowers every month. It doesn't demand admiration. But when it blooms, something changes, not just in the tree, but in the energy around it. The space brightens, the air shifts, and for many people, something in their life begins to move quietly, gently, but undeniably. The freshwater mangrove is not a decorative tree. It's a signal, a reset, a living reflection of your energetic timing. In Feng Shui, this tree represents the pulse of long-term transformation. It holds earth and water energy in balance, rooted deeply while still responding to emotional tides. That's why it's ideal for people who are in transition, new jobs, new homes, new identities. If you're in between chapters, no longer who you were, but not yet who you're becoming, this tree holds the space for that evolution. Not with force, but with grace. Its energy is grounding, yet expansive. Its roots anchor into the soil like they're holding the ground for you. Its branches sway with the wind, reminding you to stay flexible. And when it flowers, rare, seasonal, and quietly radiant, it feels like your life is syncing with something larger. People who live with this tree nearby often say the timing of its blooms match key moments. A new opportunity, a long-awaited closure, or a sudden moment of clarity that breaks months of confusion. This is the tree for those who are learning to slow down, trust timing, and rebuild not out of panic, but out of presence. Its magic lies not in urgency, but in alignment. That's why it's often planted near water, ponds, fountains, quiet pools, spaces where stillness amplifies reflection. When you pair this tree with water, you create a natural mirror for your own emotional current. You start to see what's really moving underneath your surface life. And if you live a fast-paced lifestyle, always in motion, this tree may feel like a contradiction at first. It doesn't sync with chaos. It invites you to pause, to notice, to breathe. In fact, homes that rush constantly, physically or emotionally, often experience a visible slowdown once the mangrove takes root. Not because the tree is stopping you, but because it reminds your space how to exhale. You'll also find that this tree has a unique way of protecting abundance. Its presence encourages retention, not hoarding but holding. Wealth, peace, clarity, they stop slipping away. That's why it's often used in Feng Shui near areas connected to income, a small business storefront, a home office, or the main family gathering place. It doesn't attract like the way fiery plants do. It holds it. It anchors it. And in today's high-speed, low-stability world, that might be more valuable than anything else. Placement tips: give it space. Don't wedge it into a tight corner or confine it to a manicured zone. Let it grow naturally, even imperfectly. Avoid pruning it into unnatural shapes. Its power comes from flow, not control. And always be mindful of its roots. Don't let them push against your foundation or block walkways. Let it coexist with your space, not overpower it. And most of all, observe. When it blooms, pause, check in, ask yourself, what's shifting in me right now? What's opening? What's letting go? This tree doesn't bloom for aesthetics. It blooms in conversation with your life. So if you're ready for an energy that stabilizes without smothering, holds without freezing, and grows without rushing, the freshwater mangrove is waiting. Not for attention, not for perfection, just for the right time. And maybe if you're listening, that time is now. By now you may be looking around your space a little differently. What was once just greenery might now feel like something else, something living, aware, and intentional. Because these 7 plants aren't about superstition or surface-level design. They're about energy, the kind you feel before you speak it, the kind that shapes your thoughts, your sleep, your health, your finances, without ever announcing itself out loud. Let's make it clear. If your life has felt stagnant, heavy, or stuck in patterns that seem unbreakable, your physical environment is not neutral. Every corner holds memory, every object holds frequency, and every plant, every living form you choose to bring in either strengthens your space or slowly dissolves it. Here's the breakdown, simple and sharp. The chili plant ignites flow and burns through energetic blockages. Place it where energy has died. The snake plant defends your boundary. Station it at entry points where outside chaos tries to leak in. The Buddhist pine anchors calm, structure, and protection. Grow it where emotions run high or stability is missing. The Pagoda tree holds long-term wealth and wisdom. Let it root where you want your future to grow. The Buddha belly bamboo rebuilds gently, slowly. Place it where healing is needed and noise must soften. The sage plant clears unseen residue. Put it where tension lingers and breath feels tight. The freshwater mangrove resets timing and emotional rhythm. Plant it where you want life to align again. None of them are trendy. All of them are powerful, and each one serves a purpose not just for your home, but for your spirit. Now ask yourself, where does your energy leak most? Where do you feel most stuck? What if the shift you need isn't in doing more, but in placing the right presence in the right space? You don't have to fill your home with all 7. Start with 1. 1 plant, 1 placement, 1 clear intention. Because in Feng Shui, even the smallest shift in physical form can create a cascade of change in your inner world. And when that change begins, when the air feels different, when your mind feels lighter, when your days feel less like survival and more like alignment, you'll realize it was never about decorating your space. It was about remembering how to protect it, how to respect it, and how to let it protect you in return. Your home is a living mirror. What you plant there doesn't just grow, it reflects who you're becoming, so choose wisely. Water with intention, and trust that when energy moves, life moves with it. Because sometimes the fortune you've been chasing is already at your door, waiting for the right roots to let it in.